Breakthroughs in science, data analysis, healthcare, media, and education are occurring at compounded rates of speed. The way we bank, secure our homes, get our entertainment, measure the effect of our exercise regimens, acquire information, share information, buy our food, use energy to run our households, and perform almost every other daily activity is changing literally before our eyes and during our lifetimes. The ongoing transformations in the way technology works, businesses work, and almost everything else in the world works is having a major impact on how we work, plan, decide, think, and live. It was with this idea in mind that we set out to write Shift Ahead. It is based on our hands-on experience, our academic research, and most significant, our more than 100 interviews with senior management and category experts from a wide spectrum of applicable fields. We wrote Shift Ahead to document how the smartest companies and organizations shift their strategies in order to stay relevant in the face of the swift and exponential changes in everything from technology to the forces of globalization, from politics to culture, from consumer tastes to human behavior. We wanted to find out how they shift ahead, how they stayed ahead of the curve, the competition, and the evolving requirements of their customers, given the barrage of evolving challenges. We also wanted to clarify how businesses and organizations shifted the focus of their endeavors without losing focus on what they stand for in the minds of consumers. As marketing professionals, we know that in a world as transparent and skeptical as this one, authenticity has taken on far greater significance. We found in case after case that staying connected to your organizational DNA, staying true to your true north as you shift ahead, is critical for credibility. Firms that shift ahead, but without maintaining a focus on who they are, do so at their own peril. One goal of this book is to distill the experiences of over 100 companies through the lenses of our diverse practical and academic backgrounds, to provide usable and, yes, relevant lessons learned on how to stay relevant in this frenetic world. We want these lessons to be as applicable to small startups and nonprofits as they are to multinational organizations. We want them to be as beneficial for brick-and-mortar establishments as they are for online enterprises. With a minimal amount of buzzwords and jargon, and with a wealth of, again, relevant examples, Shift Ahead demonstrates how organizations across a wide range of categories effectively and efficiently shift gears, shift direction, but always with the intention of shifting ahead so as to continue to matter in a meaningfully different way to those they serve. As marketing professionals, we'd like to share a quick lesson in one of the fundamentals of marketing having to do with relevance, what we call being meaningfully different. Marketers know it's not enough to be merely relevant to be worthy of a customer's admiration and loyalty. Something must be relevantly different to attain this status. This is not an emerging business school concept, especially as it relates to organizational, brand, or even personal success. It has always been a factor in whether a business succeeds or doesn't. Success being quantified as being able to solve a problem that is important to a customer better than anyone else can. How to most efficiently get from point A to point B. How to get clothes cleaner. How to give children a healthy start to the day. How to quench thirst. How to get better gas mileage. How to alleviate a headache. How to feed a puppy as opposed to an older dog. How to save money on airfare. How to store and share photographs. How to find a reputable plumber, electrician, or spouse. The best businesses, the best brands, achieved their positions because they found a gap in the marketplace that needed filling, or identified a problem that needed solving, and they did it better than their competition at a cost that makes it worthwhile doing. That is the essence of the market-based firm. About 25 years ago, the global communications firm Young and Rubicam, Y&R, developed one of the most respected proprietary tools in the advertising industry for figuring out how a brand is performing relative to others in its category.